Hello, this photograph is a gelatin silver paint called The Ruin. The photograph was made in the 1930s. The size of this photograph is 6 and 17/16 inches by 9 and 5/8 inches. The photograph Ruin is a genre of the photojournalism, but a little towards an art. The movement in which this photograph applies to is the avant-garde Mexico. The creator of this photograph is Manuel Alvarez Bravo. He was born in the years of 1902 and recently died in the year of 2002. Important facts about him is that he was a self-taught photographer. He also attended art school. The name of his art school was Academia de San Carlos, where he studied painting. His grandfather was an artist and his father was in love with photography. Awards he won in his lifetime was the Hasbell, the Guggenheim Fellowship for Creative Arts, and the Latin America and Caribbean Award. In the description, he uses the tone, the side lighting, and the object itself, what it represents. In the tone, he uses a black and gray and whites, as you can see, with the skeletons as the skull is mostly white, but as you go down the skeleton, it starts getting grayer, darker, and darker, and way more darker. He gives this black and gray gives the photograph a sense of the scene of that it's decaying over time. As you can see, the skull has a lot of scars and decaying, and then it's also missing the legs in front, as in like it, it it's the decaytion is going by really fast, and it has been a long time. And you can see the the normal, like the body of the horse as you go down and more down, and you can't see anymore the feet. It's hard to see what the fingers are or something like, or anything too close to the fingers, or you can't really tell. So that gives you the sense of the decaying of the horse. He also is using the side lighting from, I'm pretty sure it's from the right, from the left of the object of the skeleton and top. As you can see, it's going from the top where his bottom part of the body shows on the bottom, and then the body, just the main part of the body, it also, as you can see, it's right below, and also the the legs, as you can see, it's a little bit off to the left in a sense. And the shadow emphasizes how skinny the skeleton and the bones can no longer protect the horse, as if it was insignificant what the horse did. Also, the thing itself, as in how like the picture is framed and like bright, as in he just wants to focus on the skeleton, because you see a shadow on your left, but it doesn't really matter. He really emphasizes the frame and everything on just the horse, because it's only the only thing that appears in the photograph. The meaning itself, for its intention and meaning to the audience, the photograph does not have much focus on one part and the other, but the skeleton, which was the whole photograph, showing all the visual concepts of the subject that is showing in this photograph. As the meaning of this photograph, the horse is a skeleton in the floor that depicts death and the ruins of what Mexico was going through with the conquistadores. Took over the Aztecs that lived in Mexico. So this was in the era during the the 1500s and 1600s, and it took over. They vanished the Aztecs, which was called Tenochtitlan. Its meaning of the horse was also Mexico was able to make a revolution and prosper even though they were against the great empire of Spain. Once the conquistadors were able to get beat the Aztecs, the conquistadors were there in Spain, and little by little, the Mexicans were able to get their own revolution during the 1920s and 10s, I think so, and they were able to make the revolution. Something that the conquistadors brought was the horses, where in Mexico, the Aztecs didn't really know what the horse was. They thought that the horse and the conquistadors was one animal, which gives this is why he takes the picture of a horse. As you can see, when the conquistadors took over um, Mexico, which was called New Spain, um, it was a really of many deaths and many wars, and the horse was a representation of that, of how the deaths, as it shows, as the horse is the skeleton that represents death, and then the decaying also represents of how over that much time Mexico was able to revolutionize this, and the horse is the representation of the end of the conquistadors and the Mexican Revolution. As in the evaluation of the photograph, he well communicates his meaning because the description it gives you is the historical background of what his photograph is trying to communicate. The symbol he uses in this photograph is to interpret what he wants the audience to know as well as show. He communicates well the tone. He gives this photograph of gray, which gives the sense of death of the conquistadors who were taking over the Aztecs. The lighting gives the volume of the skeleton, of how insignificant it is and that it is a real bone. The skeleton itself also is a whole photo, and what it is important. The intention is to make you feel the deathly time during those times, that those times are decaying with the bones. So yes, all of this photograph goes with the historical background of Mexico, and his intention was that to show the cultural, which was his movement of the avant-garde Mexico, and it shows the Mexican culture and history of this, how all the Aztecs and all the conquistadors took over, and then Mexico revolutionists were able to banish the Spaniards, and this is how he represents us with the horse, that skeleton, in the photograph. And thank you. I just want